cooking again, Boom. Come on.
Yeah,
This
we
is a
are.
beautiful sight. This is gorgeous.
Yeah. Happy Memorial Day weekend, Chrissy.
Happy Memorial Day weekend.
Although this is airing sometime in June. There's film timeline and there's real time. We are filming for a live studio audience that includes my goddaughter. So if you hear adorable sounds of a baby, you're not hearing things. Your house is probably not haunted.
It is haunted, yeah.
I'm not going to say that it is officially.
Don't look behind you. It's
But
haunted.
at least in this scenario, it's probably just my goddaughter's childlike laughter. Anyways. Yeah, we're professionals. Introductions, bro. I totally forgot the intro. So, hi, welcome. My name is Anthony. This is Chrissy, who, most of the time your friend gets married and you just hope that you get along with the spouse. My poor best friend Matt ended up marrying my sister from another mister, and so we are partners in crime. And over here, if you haven't yet, go watch our antipasto video. Also, something I forgot to mention in the antipasto video is Chrissy is the writer to her food blog, Cook Now, Wine Later. Link in the description and should be showing up on the bottom. Anyways, today we're doing Braciole. Everybody goes to visit Jackie, the acting boss in the hospital.
I'm going down to the cafeteria, hon. You want me to bring anything back?
Yeah, play the Braciole.
I would definitely want this if I was stuck in the hospital, which actually I recently was. This is my second filming. Oh, the baby's loose.
Baby's loose.
This is my second filming since my appendix decided to explode on me. So if I randomly go and sit down and Chrissy is alone on screen, it's because I had to go sit down. Go check out our antipasta video. This is what I'm going to be snacking on. What we have for the ingredients is, it's kind of like two parts. So we have the flat steak that we're gonna roll. So this is what we're gonna be rolling up, courtesy of Woody's Butcher Block. My guy Eddie there, who cut this thin sliced for me. We got prosciutto, which we're gonna put into the roll. Cheese, garlic, parsley.
More garlic.
More garlic.
You never have enough garlic.
You never can.
Ever.
Salt, pepper. The wine we're drinking.
For winos.
But we're winos and we love our own names. So I got us San Antonio by the Riboli family and some Santa Cristina imported from Italy. This is a dry Syrah from a Australian winery named, it's double barrel something. It's a Syrah. Matt took off with the rest of it, drinking it. Olive oil and some tomato puree. If you look closely, the logo, it says El Padrino. Chrissy got it for me for my birthday because I'm her daughter's godfather.
It was appropriate.
So step one, we're gonna lay out the round, or the beef round, into the strips. Okay, so what we're gonna do, you've most recently touched the beef. Okay, so we lay out the beef, take some of the cheese, sprinkle it in, take some of the garlic, sprinkle it, take some of the parsley, sprinkle it, take some prosciutto, and put it on top. And then we're gonna roll it up. Oh yeah. We're supposed to have kitchen strain.
I mean...
But I didn't, it wasn't in the list of ingredients.
You know,
And
I think we can like toothpick this.
let's improvise. I'm always saying that cooking is, you play around in the kitchen and you figure out what works for you.
Your call it a day.
So when you're cooking, if you have to adapt and overcome, improvise. Thank you, Bear Grylls. You do what you gotta do. And then we're just gonna continue this for all of them. You know what? We have a lot of this Romano cheese, so I'm not gonna go as skimpy as the book said. Book said only use 2 tablespoons per 4, so this is 4 tablespoons roughly.
Go hard or go home.
Screw it, let's...
And we always have more.
We do.
got more.
I didn't know that they already had one, and I bought another one. So really, we should.
I mean, waste not, want not.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And your article is Cook Now, Wine Later. My show is Wine, Cook with Wine, More Wine.
More wine. 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 Cook with wine. Más wine.
Actually, a shout out to one of my viewers, Sarah, who actually commented on the fact I love that you always cook with wine and sometimes even use it in the food. When did you do that? So I'm turning on the stove. Yeah, it lit with my face next to it. That was awesome. Whenever the book says X amount of garlic, just plan on using more. That's what I do.
So here's the thing. I feel like cookbooks are very conservative with garlic. You know, they want to appeal to the mass. You know, I totally get that. However, I add enough garlic until my ancestors tell me to stop. Like, I just feel like they know best. I'm going to listen to them, and they're going to be like, all right, that's enough.
I don't know if my people had garlic in South America. Hey, you're the smart one.
Here's a question for your audience. Did ancient, South Americans use garlic? Did they have garlic? Did garlic grow in,
Is garlic, what part of the Columbian exchange did garlic come from? New World or Old World?
I think garlic is old. I'm pretty sure garlic is old world because it was used during the plague.
You're right. You're right, yeah.
I'm sure garlic is old world.
I never finished with the pan thing. So anyways, I'm preheating the pan now. A couple months ago, I posted an article on my Facebook page about some of the mistakes that rookie cooks make. And one of them is not allowing the pan to get up to heat before adding the ingredients. So that's already heating up. I feel the heat.
Well, the thing is, you don't want it super piping hot unless the recipe calls for it, or it's going to be a quick cook. Now, luckily, we're just searing these and then letting it mellow out for 2 hours in a hot tub of, tomato puree.
That's right. Quick sear with the olive oil and the garlic, and then after they've been seared, we bring the heat down, add the tomato puree, the basil leaf, which I need to get out still, the wine, the salt and pepper, and it simmers for 2 hours. Thankfully, we have the antipas to keep us busy.
And wine.
And more wine.
And more wine. Well, what's nice is that there's so much flavor going on already in these. We're going to sear it in the beef, so having a simple sauce is really nice because it carries the flavor. You'll notice in traditional Italian cooking, you see these shows, grandma who lives in the middle of the Tuscan countryside is making tomato sauce, and it's just the pressed tomatoes and one basil leaf in the jar. That's it. There's nothing else. But you come to America and it's basil.
We got all the basil in the world.
Everything, garlic, blah, blah, blah. But we take away the flavor of the tomato. The tomato is actually a very beautiful flavor.
Mm-hmm.
So, however.
You made me laugh, and I have a piece of gabagool in my nasal passage somewhere.
Well, that's not my fault. All right, so we're just going to add a little bit of this olive oil to the pan. It's heated up. It's not too hot.
That is really warm.
That is really warm. Well,
I let it warm too much.
Gonna get a quick sear on these. Now, I told you to add the braciole and the garlic, but since it's so hot, we'll sear these first. Add the garlic, get that nice and golden. Make it good.
Audience at home, if you don't try this recipe, you're missing out just sheerly on this smell coming right now.
It is really good. Got a nice little brown sear on there.
I must confess, I'm a slight bit concerned about the space and the volume of puree that can fit in there.
It'll be fine.
If you believe, I believe.
It'll be fine. Where there's God, there's a way.
There we go.
God will make it happen. God wills this braciole to fit in this pan.
That is, I will drink to that.
Yep. One thing that's really great about this pan is I have been able to put a layer of potatoes down and a whole chicken on top and just put it in the oven. You can use it on stovetop. I've used it, almost like a wok. I have used it just cook rice, especially couscous. Just throw it in there, and then you can just throw whatever you want on top of it. And great for one pot meals as well. This is the everything pan. We got it as a wedding gift. So now I'm going to add in kind of this pressed garlic. Just took some garlic cloves that are whole, kind of smushed them a little bit, and we're going to drop them in between and let them cook up a bit, get nice and golden. Now, one thing I like is cooked garlic. The smell, the flavor, however, the minute it gets burned, it is the worst thing ever. It turns black, everything is bitter and disgusting. It's very...
Like my personality.
Yeah, they're right there. So, we're going to pour in the wine and let it simmer for 2 minutes?
Yep, 2 minutes.
2 minutes. So, we're going to
Audience, sorry, I'm not sorry. This is the Chrissy show right now because I'm still post-op and I need to sit down.
All right, so this is simmering now. So I'm going to put in the puree.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now we're gonna see what God intended. There, see? What did I say?
Oh my goodness, you were so right about that pan. By the way, we were supposed to sprinkle this in to the meat itself.
Whoopsie.
Yet again, I forgot to add, but whatever. I'm just gonna add in some here at this stage.
Go ahead and do that now, and then I'll stir it a little bit.
Yep.
Yep. We're gonna have to like dig out the braciole. Be like, where is it? Now, one thing about simmering it for 2 hours, it's gonna cook down. It's gonna reduce.
So tear up the basil and add it in about now-ish before it gets. I mean, you have another 2 hours, but I'm gonna go ahead and put the timer on now.
We're gonna turn this down to low. We have the wine and now the basil with the puree. Thank you.
No, thank you. You're doing all the work. I've become your Seuss at this point.
Let's say we chef.
No. Si.
Si, chef.
Although, you know how you differentiate Italian from Spanish? Well, in Spanish you say si. And in Italian you say si.
All right. We've got our braciole ready to go. We're going to be coming here in about 2 hours.
Cool. All right. So at this point, sauce has been, the braciole and sauce have been on for hour 15, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hour 15. At this point, we've started the water to boil. We're gonna make the ziti. You can make ziti, penne, rigatoni. I'm a fan of rotini or concelli, the shells, because when you're using shells, every noodle becomes a little bowl for flavor. So there's something to be said about concelli. One thing I don't like about ziti is because it is a smooth noodle, sauce doesn't cling to it. There is a whole category of pasta called penne lisse. And Italians everywhere will tell you it's pretty much the worst pasta ever because sauce just goes and doesn't cling to it at all. And nobody knows why it exists. So anyways, water's boiling, that's simmering, wine's being drank. Anyways, we'll see when this is done. The viewers already know this is filmed before a live studio audience, but oh, thank you.
Cheers.
All right, so the timer went off for the first time, not while I was talking.
We've killed through some wine bottles.
And our friends finally showed up and they brought reinforcements. So we finished the wine we already had.
More wine!
Do more wine!
More wine.
Woo!
So now the ziti's done.
The braciole smells amazing. So good.
And of course, do not pour water on the pasta because you wash away the starch that helps cling to the sauce. Because technically, in a true Italian meal, you have the meat dish at one point and the pasta dish at another. Oh, you can already see it kind of like falling apart there.
Yep.
All right, so there we go, the main event, braciole. It took like 2 hours to make, but really most of that time was us bullshitting and drinking wine and having a good time. We were working for like 10, 15 minutes.
10 minutes.
The whole setup, buying the ingredients, and then assembly, and then letting it simmer. So anyways, manja, have a great week. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. Hit up all the social medias that are showing up at the bottom of the screen. We'll see you next week.
Cheers.
Beware of the toothpicks if you use toothpicks. Oh, it's so good. And
Oh yeah, that's what we're talking about.
No, they got you.
Lo and behold.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing.
oh my god.
Yeah, it's good.
Oh, yeah.
Pasta's good at least. I like
Mm.
pasta. I have a little piece of prosciutto sticking out here.
Mm.
Humans can't.
Mm-hmm.
Animals.
This is good.
Yeah. Well, they have much keener sense
Definitely
of smell
redoing.
and other things.
I'm totally down.
There are some things
so
that
good.
humans are sacrificing over